Hello, friend. Might I have a seat and rest my bones? Merci. Quite drafty in here, eh? Perhaps I will tell you a fortune for your trouble. A simple single card, for sorte. Oh, do not be alarmed or insulted. The fool is so much more than it seems. He is the traveler who takes enjoyment in his journey. See how he gazes at the stars in the sky? He sees the big picture, but misses the details, the small things. When the fool comes around, we should take it more of a warning than as an insult. Take, for instance, the sinking of the Utrecht and the passengers who survived. Have you heard the tale? It can be said that fate brought these people together from every corner. Perhaps it was more than just fate. These passengers were so concerned with the big picture that when the attack by the dread pirate Silent Death and his ship of the Whisper came, they had never considered the smallest actions and things that crossed their paths that brought them to this point. You see, there was a bracer. It was more than a bracer. An ancient artifact of lost civilizations, able to call the storms, and it was now on the Utrecht. Had the crew but known it was a bracer whose fate was tied to danger, bloodlines, legends, and myths. On that same ship was a cross used to pay for passage. But this was a cross stolen from an Inquisition puppet during a wedding that led to the false accusation of the bride and the scandal that upturned the city. Oh, and that wedding, even the bride found her way to the ship before this false accusation, yet after she abandoned her betrothed at the altar without a word of drawing suspicion to herself. So these passengers found themselves wrapped in a conspiracy of fate's design, but each of their own contribution, running from pursuit by authorities and villains. The currency of fate is trust and secrets. Trust is, after all, a small detail we all forget. Perhaps much like the fool of Sorte, we would not take our tumbles if we would just trust the dog barking warning at our heels, eh? The signs of warning are always there for those who pay attention, but the passengers still couldn't trust each other. So fate took them far from home and deeper into conspiracy, surrounded by threats, enemies, villains, pirates, and the worst of evils, the Inquisition. And then they arrived at their moment, their crucible. The most crucial and darkest hour that remade them. You see, the fool is not shown falling. Oh, they have a moment to stop and consider. They are depicted before their tumble to consider the risks, to change their path. A word of warning. I would not say fate forced anyone's hand, because, as is the same for everyone in the end, our choices define us. And for the passengers at Utrecht, they could have chosen to not trust, to not unite, to not fight back. But they did. They trusted each other, and with their lives and with their secrets. They made the choice to go back to where it all began before ever boarding the Utrecht. To right the wrongs of the past and seek to make amends. To face the most devilish foes. And admittedly, to make a few new mistakes. Some fools are harder to dissuade from their path they are on.